Aaron and Spencer with the Grass is Greener Gathering and Full Life Entertainment. Shout out to the Tash Pawtcast. Appreciate you guys having us.
Pamela Goldstein,
huh?
It's the saint.
So it's the Tash Pawtcast, episode 7. Sitting here with the fucking infamous, miraculous, amazing, tantalizing, gorgeous, handsome, sexy, smells good, best haircut in the game, Spencer Lavoie.
Hiding it under that hat, though.
Wait till he takes the hat off.
Oh, I can't wait.
And then his even better, more amazing, more handsome, smells even better sidekick, Aaron Diamond over here. I mean, Spencer said some other shit about him, but I'm not going to repeat that.
I mean, they are beautiful men.
Smells like he's baking sourdough next to me.
It's not very nice.
I mean, I happen to like sourdough bread. Tell me, how do you get your French toast?
I don't like French toast.
All right, well, let's just say Texas toast is better when it's sourdough.
How do you get your French toast?
I ask for sourdough.
That's a good point. Where do you get your French toast? Since you wanted to bring it up.
I go to the bar usually, and then,
Your French toast bar?
I don't mean that kind of bar. I mean the breakfast bar. And then you get to watch them make your French toast.
Okay.
They put an extra love when they know you're watching.
All right.
I was actually yesterday.
So is there going to be a breakfast bar at the Grass is Greener this year? Making French toast? Is that Aaron's position in the game?
Hold up real quick before we get into this. I understand it's the Tash Podcast, but I feel like there's a little collaboration with the big dookie chain happening right now. And I see an opportunity. Since I don't think I'm going to get Spencer in a gold dookie chain any other time of the week, I feel like we got to anoint. Headphones off, baby.
Oh, jeez.
You got to put it on.
I know. Yep. I'm sorry.
I haven't done this since 83.
Since
83?
Actually, you know what? You want to put
born
that
in
on my
83.
neck? It'll make me feel a little more important.
Sorry, Aaron. I didn't know that you were coming until this morning.
It's all good. I tried to get out of it, but he's like, "No, you got to come."
I figured. He wanted someone to sit next to in the car on the way home.
I got it.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
We got this.
Wait a minute.
Aaron, we got you.
Nice.
It's a smaller,
all nautical.
Yeah.
It's a smaller dookie chain, but
Yeah, he takes the ferry a lot, so. It's a perfect necklace for him.
So, Van, these guys right here, you met Spencer last year at Grass is Greener Gathering.
Yes, I did, and it was an honor.
Last year, Wyclef,
Yep.
Action Bronson, Styles P.
Yeah, very dope.
Jazzy Jeff.
Yep.
Dope as fuck.
Jazzy Jeff.
This year,
The king. Yeah.
you got 2 going on. One in Worcester, one in Queens. Why are you smiling at? Why? What is so funny over there? We can't let this dude hit the fucking gravity bomb before the show next time. It's just
I watched him have his smoky breakfast.
I'm just happy to be here.
That's what it is.
I've got a chain on my neck.
It goes well.
It goes
the
well.
ensemble.
It does. It does.
Tambourine.
I think he looks like Ray LaMonte again.
Yeah.
That's
It's an honor.
just what I got from you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Trouble. Yeah.
Among other
Empty.
things.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Just making sure you know.
Cult classics.
Occult classics.
Yeah. Yes. Cult classics, not occult.
Do you want to keep doing this?
Yeah.
I can do this all day with you. I'm not. You don't intimidate me. I ain't scared of you,
I got
motherfuckers.
an extra 5 minutes.
I ain't scared
30.
of-
I'll make it 35.
Just to fuck with me? All right. So, no, seriously, though. What's going on with you guys? Grass is Greener, Worcester.
Yep. Worcester, New York City.
Third one.
Yeah, third one.
Who was at the first Grass is Greener?
Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, nice.
Grizz, Method Man, Redman, Waka Flocka, Recno.
Method Man and Redman put on
Capadonna.
one of the best shows in hip hop. So
Yeah, that was a wild one right out of COVID.
Yeah, it was definitely a good performance.
Right before Grizz. We had a nor'easter happening. And it was a crazy rainstorm, like
There was.
the craziest rainstorm I've ever been a part of.
It must have ran like a gallon of water like in fucking an hour.
And then in typical Redman and Method Man fashion, they came on delayed, just because they wanted to.
Yeah.
So I had to I was wearing a lumberjack onesie because style's not me. And I had to turn the actual sound system down manually on them while they're performing. And their manager, it was a whole thing. Yeah.
Why? Why'd you have to turn it down?
I had to kick them off stage basically.
Oh, because they were late.
They were going over their time.
They were late.
And I had to get Grizz on stage.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a whole thing. But it's all love with us. And
So tell me a
we
little
enjoyed
bit.
it.
Tell me a little bit about Full Life Entertainment before we get into Grass is Greener. What is Full Life Entertainment? I'll tell you that you and Aaron obviously do that together. What's your role in Full Life Entertainment?
I've come on board the past couple of years as just helping out with just project management and operations directing. So just anything I could help out with as far as all the events and gigs we do and planning for them.
I met you last year at Grass is Greener, and you looked fucking exhausted. It's like I was like, I was honest when you told me that I met you and I was like, I don't know if that dude's like all just fucked up off drugs because you were also sunburned. Do you remember that? Like you had like
I think so.
You
yeah,
had like
I got hit bad that the first, like one of the first days we
A lot
were
of
building out.
A lot of forehead to get sunburned.
yeah, it was like you know how like on like Baywatch they put the white stuff like on the sunburn, the zinc.
Yeah,
I think he had some of that
he has
going
it on his nose.
Yeah, he had some of that going on. I'm like,
got
what
that.
the fuck is going on with this guy? And we were just like, you just looked like you were tired.
I probably looked worse than I actually was though, because I'm usually good for these things. But I mean, just festivals and the team that we roll out with, it's a bit of a smaller crew on that side, so we just have a lot of responsibilities and just get stretched out. But we get it done. That year I had like I do vendor coordinating for our events, and I had like 80 vendors I was in charge of.
Yeah, there was a lot of vendors
things,
there.
Yeah.
So
For Life Entertainment is just a you guys just put on shows. And do
So-
every aspect of the show. It sounds like.
That's one avenue of what we do. We
Okay.
also do technology installs.
Yep.
So
You did all the lights at the Steel Gold Earth Gang show, right?
yeah,
In
so like another
Government Center.
example of a technology install would be like Symphony Hall in Springfield, leading the tech design for, multi-million-dollar installs for different theaters.
Okay.
We've also done things like the Dr. Seuss Museum. We led the creative technologies end of things, and I was part of I think it was about 6 of us that designed and built the Amazing World of Dr. Seuss. So
Oh,
really
wow.
anything. I mean, our main thing is going to be education down the road.
Okay. You were originally a lights guy, right?
Lights and really everything,
Okay.
It was we definitely shined more in the lighting end of things because there's
I see.
less.
I see what you're doing there.
Oh
Shine.
yeah, a little
light.
entendre. There's less. The good thing about lights is they follow an equation less than sound. Sound is right. It's scientific.
Okay.
There is obviously creative, custom things about sound, and sound when it's going live, in my opinion, is even harder than lighting. But lighting gives you an opportunity to differentiate yourself from the person next to you.
Mm-hmm.
So lighting was our way of kind of growing faster by doing unique designs and learning the tech and coming up with things that were a little different than some of the other concerts we're doing.
Okay.
And enabled us to kind of work with a lot of the larger events.
Yeah, because the lights for Steel Gold were crazy.
Yeah,
that was super dope.
fun.
That was in Government Center,
the
downtown
lights,
Boston.
the lights for Grass is Greener last year. I don't know if you remember. It was like you guys had like a sky or something. It
Yeah,
was
that
like
was laser shows. Yeah,
that shit was fucking crazy.
I mean, and those were in retrospect very small light shows compared to what some of the things we do. So this year at Grass, we don't have to worry about the fencing and the porta potties and the permitting and everything because it's an indoor-outdoor setup. So, you're going to get the For Life production, which is probably 30 to 40 foot LED wall wide, 20 lasers, probably about 100 moving lights.
Wow.
So it's going to look like a real large scale festival.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we get hired to do, is that end of things. And
What are some of the festivals that you guys work?
Elements Festival was a perfect example. We've been with them since pretty much the beginning. We went from small
That's electronic, right?
electronic and crossover EDM, jam kind of stuff,
Okay.
like Sound Tribe Sector 9 and things like that. But Imagine Festival and a lot of the local festivals, Boston Art Music Soul Fest. We do a lot of stuff for the city of Boston's festivals. We just did the 50th anniversary of Hip Hop Festival.
How'd you guys get involved with that?
Billy Dean.
Okay.
Shout out to Billy Dean. They're dope musician themselves. And I think what we have at For Life is more of a grassroots, carry the cables through the mud, figuratively kind of approach the things, which is relatable to the smaller tier of event producers, in the sense that they feel much more welcomed and accepted throughout the process because at the end of the day, I mean, events are really curating someone's dream. A lot of people's dream is to put on a gathering for people, many different walks, even if they're not involved in music. A lot of businessmen have a pastime, hobby, dream doing something like that too. And just being able to help meld their vision to reality is what we kind of specialize in.
You are show business.
Yeah, anything show business,
For Life, by the way, is like that name is just on some like West Side Connection, Mac 10 gangster shit. That's the first thing that pops into my head. I know that wasn't the original intention. But
yeah,
what if it was though?
It was.
Well, yeah, what if it was?
It was a record thing. Hip hop and rap is like my real passion.
Yeah.
And I used to run.
That's why you got the gold chain.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And
like
then
you did in '83.
I used to record kids in college and run a studio out of my house, and it was For Life Entertainment, and
so it
melded.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that why you so you do like a lot of electronic festivals and stuff, but the Grass is Greener is kind of like almost a hip hop festival?
Yeah, I would say in a funny, way, where our roots are a bit of everything, hip hop and electronic. Electronic because we were blessed to be a part of the come up of a lot of the bass music genre. Guys that we used to book for $200 or.
Well, what made you want to put those two things together?
I think that
it's pretty unique. I
think that in a perfect world, I'm going to start moving into country and Americana too, and bringing it all together. Cannabis is cross cultural.
Yep.
And I think that everybody has a bit of enjoyment in every factor if they get thrown into it figuratively. Kind of like a good analogy is, I hadn't eaten a specific dish, guacamole, and someone gave me a good cooked, good done, whatever, however the hell you make guacamole, done well versus none versus something, and someone just gave it to me, not knowing what it was, and I ate it. It was like, oh shit, I really like this, and just force feeding people culture is what I like to call it. The wrestling people find to be their favorite thing at a show, believe it or not. That's something. You go see a massive artist and watching someone sitting there smoking a joint and eating good food with your friends and watching someone get choke slammed while the stage is
out of nowhere.
Yeah, it gives you more of a, just unique experiences, I think.
Wait, have you had wrestling at your...
Yeah, every year we have wrestling. This year we've got a main stage, no ring death match.
Okay.
So
you didn't see the big wrestling ring?
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Yeah, it was right, it was like right in the middle, kind of.
The Blitzkrieg Pro guys.
Yeah, they're great. So we're gonna have big ladders and tables, and it's gonna be a whole beatdown on the main stage before as the night starts to progress.
Yeah, music and violence, they pair well together.
Yeah, but the good thing about wrestling is it's not parody, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
So
it's not too scary.
Exactly.
Just scary enough.
They don't take it too serious, but it's serious enough to have a great time.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of crossover in like hip hop and wrestling now too, like with the Action Bronsons and the Griseldas and shit.
Well,
and all
my
that.
head went to Insane Clown Posse, but
yeah, there you go. We've Lil Eazy E. He does a lot of gathering of the.
Well, who's some of the people in the Okay, let's start with the Worcester show. The date, place.
April 13th.
You act like you don't.
Worcester Palladium.
He's like thinking about it.
I'm not good with dates and names.
You got something to do on the 13th in Worcester.
Dates and names.
What made you bring it inside the show?
It's indoor and outdoor, but what made me do that was the controllability factor. We have other grass events that were in the works that are later on in the year that'll be more outside focused. But last 2 years we've had inclement weather on the Saturday.
Yeah. And
enabling folks an opportunity to go out and get the best of outdoors. Congregate outside, smoke, chill, listen
yeah, I love that because if I'm going to
stage.
get a ticket way ahead of time, I'm not going to want to be stuck outside. I want to have the choice.
Yeah, so, and then you just go inside. It's
I agree because last year, the first day, like the weather was like as good as it could have possibly been.
Same with year one, yeah.
And that's like the best you're gonna. Well, year one had that wind. The wind was blowing that year one, but year two was like, it was gorgeous. It was like 60 degrees and sunny out. It was perfect. Though people were in shorts. And the next day, it's like you just hit with like, oh shit! And now it's like 50 degrees and you're outside in the rain. So it is like and you don't want to move it back from April, obviously, because 420. So the next logical step is, all right, try to give a hybrid event.
Yeah, I mean, if we do this right, we should really set the standard for a national cannabis-oriented culture tour.
I want to get into that. But before we do, can you just describe for people, because a little bit of the, not backlash, but a little bit of the questioning I've seen is about the outdoor area. Now, because everyone's obviously is used to you guys doing outdoor events, so just can you explain what the outdoor area is going to be like in this place a little bit?
Plenty of space, music.
Well, I mean, you're going to have obviously if anyone's been to the Palladium, you have the main
so
stage.
You're going to have the half of the main entrance is dedicated.
And this is downstairs, right? The big room?
Correct.
Okay.
The main, we're actually taking over the entire complex, but the main entrance, there'll be half of it is not an entrance. It's an egress for indoor, outdoor.
Okay.
So you'll be able to just walk out and show your badge. There'll be an outdoor. If you've been to the Palladium, there's a very large parking lot. Mm-hmm. Hundreds of feet in each direction. We'll have broken down, fenced in, tents.
And you'll have vendors and stuff out there as well.
Some
and things
vendors, some food trucks. Yep.
Some vendors, some food trucks. Some of our sponsors will be having activations out there. It'll be like like a smoking area for people.
I was going to say, is legal smoking and everything is allowed out there?
Yeah, that'll be fine. And then we'll send out some of the magical rock stars will freaking out there and keep people busy and interact with people out there. So it'll be cool. We'll have
what are these magical rock stars? Yeah.
Ethan, i.e. the Magician, is a really cool crew that we bring out. Spencer could tell you more about them, but they bring a good experience to the event, just like the wrestlers and stuff.
So Ethan's actually like a pretty famous magician who travels nationally for a lot of events, but he's got a common goal with me that, we want to create eclectic experiences and high tier caricature profiles, folks being involved, and tricks and magic and experiential things happening all around without people expecting it is kind of something we pride ourselves on. So, and this year we're actually having a whole main stage magic show that's very, professional magicians and such that'll kind of be happening all around you, so to speak. So it's going to be kind of cool.
I've met Ethan. I was going to interview him last year. Just things we'll do it this year. There's a weird thing that goes on with this show. So Van was on 88.9 at night. He was a DJ for the radio station in Boston, the hip-hop radio station in Boston, like for the last couple of years of the station. Hush is someone who's won he's someone who's like the Forrest Gump of like Boston hip-hop. He's won a bunch of events, and he's involved with just about everything some way or another, but he didn't know him, okay? There's another layer of the Hush onion with Ethan. So the guy he's talking about, the magician he's talking about, Hush has actually worked with him as well.
Huh.
Of
course. Naturally.
Freestyle clinic.
Ethan loves rapping.
Yeah, he was at the freestyle clinic event. That's where I met him.
Yeah, he's a passionate rapper, and we've had some of the craziest late night. I'm usually too tired to take part, but what people have said was the most historical session of freestyle I've ever been a part of at the circus. It was like 3 a.m. and 100 people just gathered in a circle and started rapping at one of our events.
Well, he was even saying that was a Grass is Greener event, wasn't it, or something like that?
Was that the Circus of the Dead?
The event I met him at wasn't, but he was speaking about that he did like work with you at the Grass is Greener.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And then our other festival he works with as well. I have a Grateful Dead oriented thing too, which is pretty dope. We're about to announce.
That's dope. We'll get into the music part of it in a minute. What's some other like eccentric type things that people will find at this festival? So for instance, there's the festival crowd, right? And obviously this is kind of like a crossover thing. So like there's a lot of people. Last year, I've been to a few festivals. You don't see a lot of like Jordans and Fresh Air Maxes and shit like that at festivals. But yours you did. So you'd have like the festival crowd, and you'd have like all the EDM crowd, that kind of shit, and you'd also have like the hip hop crowd were there, like in full force. So bringing those mixes in, like, and that crowd that may not be used to like wrestling or magicians and stuff like that. What's something else that they might be able to find on there?
One of the things we're really proud of is we've been working with high-end events, Bobby Nuggs and Bailey, very intimately on creating what we consider the new standard of Massachusetts compliant cannabis cups.
Okay.
This year, the Greenskeeper Cup is looking like we're going to be full in every category. It's all compliant. So, in other words, we have indica, sativa, solventless, and pre-roll categories. 28 grams of indica, 28 grams of sativa, for instance, the maximum compliant amount you can get from dispensary. Submittals are 1 gram per dispensary. Dispensaries submit to our plan that I'm not going to get into the compliancy and how it works out,
Yep.
but long story short, we're able to get submittals to our distribution dispensaries that are our hubs for the specific categories, and you can go buy a box legally. It's $200. You'll get your ounce. You'll also get some giveaways, and you'll get a concert ticket. But along with that, what we do that I think is cool and different is you get access to the back end of judging platforms. So you, the average consumer, can become a judge for a legitimate cup. And one thing I'm really proud of is Forbes magazine wrote us up last year, and along with Wyclef, and called our cup basically a positive thing for the future of cannabis, and is really setting the standard of what cannabis can do for communities. So it's a great thing to be able to not only bring the grassroots legacy market, but in a legal, compliant way, bring the pay an ode to the future where things are going to, which is going to be, in my opinion, much more compliant as the days go ahead.
So that is dispensaries can enter and like regular growers can enter.
Dispensaries only.
Only.
It's because it's a compliant cup.
Okay, all right.
But anyone can be a judge. So anyone who's over the age of 21 can go buy a kit. Comes with a concert ticket.
Right. And this is like madness for me, born actually like deep into the 80s, unlike you, a few weeks. But
2 years.
2 years. You used to not be able to smoke weed at shows. Now you can get an ounce of weed with your ticket. It's fucking insane.
It's a great concept, and it's really setting. We're really trying to create a national program with partners, longevity, where not only do we have shows in these areas, but we have partners, brand partners, and as reciprocity or the ability to legally do business between states, or and things can become more of a union and it's nationally legal, which I think is going to happen. I think what we're setting up is a roadmap for brands to become partners with other brands and become insert themselves in new markets.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great thing about what the Grass is Greener is, because at the end of the day, it's a cultural expo is really what we're.
It's interesting though. You're in like the beginning, almost experimental stages of all of this. So you're setting the blueprint.
We were the first 10,000 plus per real concert for cannabis in Massachusetts. After legality, and I will say that I have had some amazing community support, but I've also had
some backlash.
Some backlash from the old lady up the street who calls in to say her son. What do you say? Her son died of smoking pot. I've heard, like, you name it.
Huh.
Down to municipalities. Playing not so favorably.
Yeah, I bet.
So the thing about I feel like Grass is really paving, as much as it is a great thing for just itself, it's enabling others to just take the roadmap and send it, and not have to do it in this like small fairground up the street kind of way. No, we're trying to really get national level exposure and national level support, and that's really where it's headed.
I mean, you're definitely in that direction. This year you have you've always had national level acts, but I mean, Worcester, who do you got playing in Worcester?
This year we have Bone Thugs and Harmony. Easy,
which is pretty dope. I mean,
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah, I mean, so it's not necessarily always about the musicians you're having as far as national level. You know, national to me is setting a standard of experiential. You know, if you rely on outdoing your lineup every year, you're going to end up spending more and more every year to create who's hot, who's not. And it should be more about the brand and the experience overall as for patrons, you know? So for us, it's really, we have had some great write-ups. I mean, you can check it out, everything from The Source to EDM.com to, you know, you name it, really. We've had hundreds of great articles. But for us, it's inserting ourselves in legal markets and giving local entities an opportunity to partner with someone who has worked through the kinks and created a roadmap. And this year, it's looking like Miami, Wynwood Marketplace area, Little Haiti area,
Amazing-
something really
amazing place.
amazing this year with some great partners. It's also looking like there's some things happening in the St. Louis region.
You're just talking about in terms of expanding Grass is Greener and
Yeah,
making it
different
into
events.
a full tour.
Different events in each area.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is create, like I said, a national entity that stops into legal areas and creates a roadmap for a great event.
Literally a roadmap.
Yeah.
Yeah, got you.
And then what follows it is the ability for brands that are entering these markets to have a one-stop shop to get inside. You know, we find partners that are in Massachusetts are going to be partners for not only New York but also Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Brands that are in all three states, and what we see is an opportunity to create a cultural experience that doesn't sell out, and utilize the concept of cannabis culture, you know, to be the catalyst.
So who are people going to be able to? I mean, I know it's not all about the music, but who are people going to be able to see in Worcester?
So in Worcester, we've got Bone Thugs and Harmony. Why don't you take it away on this one?
Sure. We
Love
got
to hear your voice.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. We got Lil Eazy E. So Eric Wright's son has been performing and has some of his own music as well. So that'll be a really cool experience, and get Bone Thugs and Lil Eazy in the
Yeah, it's
building
kind
at
of.
the
I
same
don't
time.
think we were talking to them. I don't think it's been done on the East Coast yet with the two of them.
Yeah.
the two of them together like that. So that's going to be.
Yeah.
They just did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they just did one of the playoff games, the halftime.
Yeah, they did
of
a
the
halftime show. Yep. So they're really excited to be together for that. We also have DJ Craze coming again as one of our favorite DJs to book. He's a DMC world champion for 3 years.
Three times in a row.
3 times in a row.
Among
I
other,
think,
almost every award you can win as a DJ.
Yeah, so he really crushes it, and he's going to put on a great show. We got a bunch of other local and some other national acts. We got Justin Clancy's coming out.
I mean, we have over 40 acts for that show, and some things we haven't released.
How long is the show go for?
It's a 3 p.m. to midnight experience.
Okay.
So it's, 8, 9 hour deal.
And where can people get tickets to this?
Tickets are available at thegrassisgreenergathering.com.
Do you have any deals with people getting tickets to both events?
Currently, no. We set our price to be approachable for all events. We are going to be setting up some deals, but currently, to get in New York, it's only $40, $45.
Oh, that's nothing. Who's the lineup in New York?
So we have the LOX coming out. Jadakiss, Chic Luch, Styles P.
All three of the locks. So you got all four. You got all four Bone Thugs and Harmony. Well, nowadays, you got to be specific about this kind of shit.
Well, Crazy wasn't doing well, so he did miss some shows out, especially in Massachusetts, actually. But yeah, we are. We've got some. They're excited to be together.
And Busy doesn't tour with the Bone Thugs.
No.
Yeah, but I saw Bone Thugs in New Hampshire last year. And they put on. Yeah, it's an amazing show.
Oh yeah.
Lil Eazy E can do his dad's verse on "Creeping on a Come Up," so that's exciting for me. Now I'm going totally nerdcore hip hop here.
It's good. Yeah, we also have an additional headliner we're gonna announce this week, which will be fun. Someone who's definitely excelling in the charts quickly.
But for Queens, it's the LOX, and who else? Who else is
We've got LOX, Still Gold.
nice?
We've got Justin's also going to be there, Justin Clancy. We've got Sophia Body. Tony Moxberg is coming out. We also have, like I said, a whole new headliner edition that we're putting out this week.
Okay.
Some bands. We also have the magicians coming out and other entities. Some cars coming out, some luxury McLarens, things like that.
Oh yeah, tell us about that. Want Fergus?
Yeah, so we work intimately with Pulled Up, which is a car show entity in one.
Last year, these guys had did you see the Hummer with the 6 wheels on it? Was that what it was?
It's that is even more rare. It's one of like 200 ever made. It's a 6-wheel Jeep.
Yeah, it was wild.
It's a shop in Florida that does it. That does these Jeeps and extends the body. So we picked up Jazzy Jeff in this like
Oh shit.
$500,000 6-wheel Jeep.
Yeah, it looked like a fucking tank or something. It was like it's got a look to it.
Yeah, you put it on video and everything. It was a thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's a good move too.
Yeah, that was a cool. We try to have some fun. You
Yeah,
know,
you guys
all
do-
our artists get picked up in like pretty fun cars.
Not even that. Didn't you do like a giveaway? Didn't you have like you got a fan come in? You picked up a
so,
fan
like,
in a limousine and everything.
One year we had the ultimate King experience, and I mean it was kind of wild. This guy, first of all, we got him a suite. So it starts in a hotel suite when he arrives. I mean, roses on the bed, literally chocolate, like fancy. Pick him up in a McLaren, bring him to the concert,
Just like I do for you.
give him like, you know, a cape and a crown for the whole concert, and
He was sitting on stage.
Yeah,
and this they haven't even gotten to that part. It gets wild. So he literally had a buffet and he was the head of the table next to the thing, catered meal. I mean, we spent some big money to make this real, and we set up a wrestling thing. He got to go into the wrestling ring and
forgot
give
about that.
someone a stunner. Like live, it was
Yeah.
a whole like they pre-did a wrestling thing because it was the King, so he won the Royal Rumble. You know, we had a throne. I'm not even joking. Literally a throne in Waka Flocka.
It was a throne. It was like a Game of Thrones throne, but made of joints.
I mean, it was wild. It's literally
What?
like
Not real joints,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like it,
it's giant wooden throne made of joints. Like you have to almost go to our website, see the video. It's
Yeah,
wild.
Yeah, I gotta check that
And
out.
then we
you
put him
still
in.
got that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it's
it's
on
fire
our
ants,
website.
and then so we put him in the throne, hand him like probably an ounce worth of like giant joints, while Waka Flocka's playing on stage. I'm like, do you care if I put? He's like, he's a really cool guy. Definitely a very very cool team player. Had a blast.
Oh, I met him. He's super personable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't care. So we got this kid in a crown and thing. Next thing you know, him and Waka are singing "Hard in the Paint" together on stage. This kid's like,
Yeah.
it was like the ultimate experience for him. And then we brought him back in a luxury car, had dessert waiting for him, whole deal. Woke him up, got him breakfast, sent him on his way. And like that, yeah. So we'll share the video on our Facebook of the experience, because the whole recap video of this individual. He was I want to say electrician or a blue collar worker.
Yeah.
And he said at the beginning of the video, I never win anything, and it was a thing.
Oh man, that sounds. I gotta.
yeah.
Check
He was
that out.
owning
I
his
gotta
moment.
check out
He
the
had a great
recap.
experience.
Yeah.
Well, you were giving away something this year that was like so good. I almost just like quit. I'm like, I'm gonna stop working with you. I'm just gonna like enter the contest because like
Yeah,
what the
this year
fuck?
is pretty cool. We've got this year comes with for 4 guests per show.
For both shows. That's Queens and
Okay.
Worcester.
So we're gonna once you arrive on site, you're gonna get $100 to spend at the vendors. You're gonna get food passes to eat as much as you want. You're gonna get a private area with your own private couch to just sit back with your friends. You're gonna get autographed swag. You're gonna meet all the headliners. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Wow.
You're gonna walk away with bunch of giveaways. You know, thousands of dollars of worth of experiential giveaways. You know, you're not gonna have to spend $1 there, and you're gonna have the ultimate experience.
Do you get to wear the crown? You don't get a crown though this time.
We've got something special this year.
I want to make
we
sure
do
the head is adorned.
We also do trophies at our shows. So
naturally,
I do. For instance, the Prince Award was the fresh dressed. I do the William Easton Award for whoever traveled the farthest to get to the show.
Why is the William Easton Award?
Because Swashbuckler is a pirate, and that was like my road dog who passed away.
Okay.
So we have the we do Best Dancer Award, and basically throughout the day we'll just kind of and present someone with this like beautiful trophy that they wouldn't even expect. Last year there was a gentleman wearing like this top hat with this bright glittery, you know, and he didn't know a thing. Next thing you know, he gets this giant trophy. And then there was another gentleman who won the trophy for Best Dancer. You remember him?
Yeah, that guy was
And
going
he
in.
was literally like, do you remember that guy with the bald hair?
He took the award and just started dancing right through
He took
it.
the award.
I think so.
It was
Yeah,
like-
I do remember him.
it
Yeah,
was
he was
like-
by himself.
He was
Yes.
by himself.
Yes, he was kind of like heavy set.
Heavy set
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
So
bald. Yep, I
funny
remember.
story about him. Really funny story. So sad part, something really bad happened. I think someone died that in his life. Literally 2 weeks before that. So he ate a bunch of mushrooms and he came there and he was dancing this like crazy free dance on the Friday. The next day, because we had to bus people in, he happened to sit next to my dad on the bus. And the guy was tripping so hard that he passed out at the stoplight, leaving the mall where we had people park. And they let him out the next morning, and he got right on the bus and came back for day 2. And ate a bunch of mushrooms and was dancing free again. And yeah, that was the guy.
I didn't know your dad interacted with him. That's
Yeah, so
funny.
that literally happened. The guy literally passed out at the stoplight. And yeah, funny.
Jesus Christ.
Not funny, but
No, yeah,
but-
it's not great, but yeah.
yeah, that was a wild man.
What's one of your favorite things? I mean, each one of you. What's one of the favorite things you've seen? Because you obviously brought a lot of good times to a lot of people at the Grass is Greener last year. What was one of your favorite memories of it?
I mean, my favorite thing is pretty much it's just the overall experience that we build out. Like it's very different from just a standard concert. Like we really care about the customer experience and how people feel when they come to our event. And it's like once people get down to our event for the first time, like I've seen it from multiple reactions, they're just like, holy shit, like I've never been to an event like this. And like just seeing that reaction where they realize that we've set like a new bar for a type of event and like entertainment and everything, it's just cool and seeing people's reactions. And then once they come for 1 year, they're like, I'll be there every year. Like I talk to people all the time. Like I wait all year for this event. Like we love it. So just seeing those reactions is that for me. And those
Dope.
Yeah, look at those things.
What, the 80s babies? Like those? That's good,
Over
right?
here, I can't focus. I got this.
I know, I thought, I'm like, is Spencer tripping on mushrooms right now? Like,
I know,
I wasn't
you're
sure.
having the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I
having
wasn't
a
sure.
good
Like
time.
in the back of my mind, I'm not quite positive if you're tripping or not. I haven't figured it out yet.
those are Rick Naya likes those.
Yeah, no, I'm always tripping.
Yeah, you
Not literally, but
When this is
Good
the guy
choice.
throwing the fucking show, you know you're in good hands. Look at him.
we're all on a trip.
What's one of your favorite things that you've got to see about all this? I've gotten to experience with the Grass is Greener.
In a like friend masshole way, watching my buddy try ask his fiance to marry him in front of the box office.
Did you say yes?
Yeah, of course. We had hot air balloons, right? And my buddy
I
Justin,
remember
shout
that.
out Justin Brown. I am gonna call you out. Evolution's owner, Mike and Justin, amazing people. Festivals. We had hot air balloons, and the weather was too bad to have them, so he's gonna ask his wife to marry him in the hot air balloon, you know, and so he
Settle for in front of the box
a
office.
grand moment, you know. So he gets there, it's, you know, drizzling out. He thought it'd be a great spot, like, and this wasn't a nice looking box office. We're talking like fence and
Oh yeah, I remember it.
whatever. It's like, yeah, you know, send
Fuck
it. Like this is
He,
the.
he should have used the wrestling ring and then they
No,
could
that
have
was
like
one
body
of them,
slammed
but-
each other after.
Yeah, that you know.
No, I think that
If any woman in Aaron's life, just
You
know
know.
that's what's coming.
I think that was one of the coolest. But generally speaking, it's kind of hard to what's the right way to put it? When you're the one kind of knee deep in things, it's hard to like remember or pinpoint any.
You were living it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you don't pull your camera out and actually, you know what it was?
I would, but
Wyclef.
I was gonna.
When the
I was
rain-
gonna say, did you
when
see
the
him last
rain-
year at Wyclef when it was all over at the end?
When
This guy.
the rain trickled down and he said, and it was no women, no cry, and the lasers started and the rain just started, and then he like came into the crowd and like.
Yeah, let's talk about like that for a
I
minute.
mean, like,
like
there
what-
was probably, let's just say it was probably the most, and he even said it, and that's, you know, shout out to Wyclef. That's, you know, one of the people, if things line up, we're going to be doing with in Miami, and he's a big car guy.
that'd be
so
awesome.
More to follow on that, but I mean, this was probably the most intimate time he's ever done that, he said, and he basically he came into the crowd for Gone Till November, and No Woman No Cry actually, and it was just like, it was a moment.
I remember it was very
that was
cool.
pretty dope.
Yeah, it was a very unique performance that really came together well with all the production that we brought in, even all the LED walls and the visuals, the lasers, just everything going off at once. Like I haven't seen a better performance myself.
It was
yet.
pretty dope. This guy right here was actually in the crowd. What did you think of that?
Yeah, now that like he said, the lasers were definitely sticking out once it got dark, and then I remember Wyclef going into the crowd. He said you don't pull out the camera, but I might have a few shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some shots
I
and
got some,
video
yeah.
and stuff, but that was all about the moment. Yeah, exactly. He said
yeah.
literally, don't pull out. It was all about the moment. Wyclef calls himself the greatest performer in the like. That's
Humble too. Yeah.
but no, he is when you actually meet him. Like he's not, you know, he's about the mission. You know, as we get our school development going, which is where For Life's headed. Hopefully, in the next few years, is to start a school for inner city youth STEM education.
Oh wow.
Yeah, before we let these guys go on that, like that's one of these big things that Spencer is all about, this education and giving back to community.
Yeah.
That's like one of his like I every time since I've been messing with you, that seems to be like in the forefront of pretty much almost everything you do.
Yeah, I started a nonprofit before for-profit out of my divine optimism.
Yeah.
You know, you got to realize, I didn't realize that to have a mission, you got to fund the mission.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, there's no difference between a nonprofit and a for-profit if the for-profit funding the mission.
Uh-huh.
You know, so we're doing it in the way that we're trying to become successful as a company so we can fund our mission, not have to go and rely on a wishing well of other nonprofits pulling out, you know. So we basically want to train, use our own equipment, use our own warehouses and spaces, and train inner city youth to see the end result of their education. And I think music's a great fashion to do that because it breaks down the cultural barrier. You know, it doesn't matter what you make, what you have, who you are once the music starts. And,
Yeah.
and it becomes more of a fusion of, you know, something that I consider almost, primordial, and it's built in us. You know, that drum pattern around the fire back to like the root of humanity. You know, and I think music's a great opportunity to kind of glue different people together, and having kids learn something and see that they can immediately apply what they learn to see an end result where everybody becomes like a moment to shine figuratively. Yeah. So I think that there's a lot of great ways to do that. Like, for instance, every year a school spends $5,000-$10,000 on a prom. You know, we could be putting on the greatest proms ever as a school organization, and now you're funding the school by putting on proms or political rallies or festivals or what have you. Yeah, that's kind of the goal, is to.
It's very noble.
Yeah. So, what made you like? Do you have the same mentality? I mean, to jump on.
I mean, yeah, everything that For Life and Spencer is you know, the goals. It's all, we all share the same mindset where we want to achieve these things and give back to the community and continue to build experiences and deliver that for people, and so that they can use it to realize possible career paths or lives for themselves, and, you know, building up you know, a family and things like that, and staying in a positive direction. And it's like, the type of industry that we're in, it's like the end result is it's an experience versus something materialistic, so that when you're putting your skills to use and you're learning how to use technology, and then you produce something that's a lot more memorable, and it just sticks better than, like, you know, you could smelt something in a piece of a brick comes out, like, cool, you put that on a shelf, like, you know, whatever. But if you work on something for weeks or months on end, and then at the end of it there's a culmination of an experience and everybody enjoys themselves, and you're like, wow, like, I really did that from all the skills that I've learned, it sticks with people, and then they can take those skills and go find a job or a career and end up having a family and a livelihood off of it. So it's just a very cool cultural experience that brings everything together and gives people like a sense of direction and meaning. And we have that for ourselves, and we want to share that with other people and let them.
It's so funny watching you both discuss the altruistic message with these gold chains on.
Yeah, I mean, it's the connection. You know, the downfall of an assembly line, figuratively, in communism. You know, I was philosophy major in college. You know,
here we go.
I'm gonna get pretty deep here, but long story short, you become alienated from the end result of the labor, and you become just a cog in the chain. And the problem with what we have now in both industry and education is it's just another cog in the chain. Nothing is actual beginning to end result. You're just a piece of an assembly line, figuratively. And there's not many ways that an individual can own the process from beginning to end that are not scientific methodly based, you know, where you create a control out of nothing. So concerts are an easy way for someone who doesn't really want to learn the scientific method figuratively to be able to be like, wow, I want to put on a laser show. But what do you got to learn about before you can make those lasers go on? How do they get power? What is power? Simple, stupid little thing, figuratively. You know, you don't have to go that deep. But just a minute, you got someone who wants to shoot a laser. Now he knows why and how it's going to shoot because he gets to shoot it figuratively, you know? And before you know it, that kid will be putting on his own laser show.
It's just also funny just watching these guys because they obviously work close together, and this guy is nothing but excitement. Like when you talk to Spencer anyways, he's just always like, you talk to Aaron, it's just like, I'm never sure if he's just in a bad mood or like, it's just, so the car rides with you guys must be pretty interesting. the two of you, but he's warming up now.
I'm in a good mood. I'm chilling.
I know you're in a good mood and chilling. It's just like he's so animated, and and you probably need that because you need the groundation and the dream and the ground and the dream and the ground to make the thing work, obviously.
Groundation is what I got out of this. It's a new word. I like that.
That's what it is.
But this is like also what you've created is like a dream, like a teen. Yeah, this pause. But teen boys like wet dream. You got you got wrestling. You got lasers, magicians, electronic rap. Weed.
Yeah, I mean it is exactly that.
This is crazy.
I mean, I feel like.
He's like just realizing it now, like, okay, shit.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of wild if you think about it.
A lot of us enjoy the same things.
Yeah,
you know, we just don't have the opportunity to really like experience it. A shout out to the Warped Tour for being able to. Like, if I could do my events right and I had a well budgeted enough and a large scale enough, I mean, I'm gonna have professional BMX bikers, skateboarders. I'm gonna have dirt bikes.
Yeah, that's right.
I want to do aerialists. I want to have like a full on, have cranes, circus people you name it. I mean, there's no limit.
Wow.
Why not? Because I think that a big thing is, again, back to the not trying to outdo yourself on talent. Because right now, I think the music industry is pretty fucked in the sense that agents have put and I don't want to get too deep into this, but and it's something that most people don't understand, is for an independent promoter, the ability to even book some of these artists is nearly impossible. Because there's larger conglomerates that create monopolies on areas.
You're like a side note to Live Nation. It's like it's a very unique thing.
So like being able to book someone at that scale is very hard because people like
Yeah, it's tough. I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people about you, how they're trying to figure out how the fuck you're able to do this without having to go through that kind of stuff.
Yeah, why is it these artists only going through Live Nation?
So what happens is Live
most
Nation
part.
owns the venues.
Yeah.
Live Nation owns the ticketing.
Okay.
So Live Nation basically, easy way of saying it is, they'll go to an artist and they'll book the artist for 50 shows at their venues and one-offs.
Yeah.
So, and then they'll create the ticketing chain, which they already have agreements with the venues. So basically what that means is that Live Nation can set the price on every item. So when they go to a entity that's on the come up, that's not like a fish level, for instance, they'll usually do deals per venue, and they'll say, okay, we're going to do 50 shows. Here's your routing. They'll own all the venues, right? We'll cover, we'll split it X, Y, and Z amount after everything's done.
Yeah.
So Live Nation owns the ticketing, which means the service fees they get, the artist doesn't get.
Very familiar with those.
So the 12, 15, 18, whatever.
Yeah.
They also will own some of the third party. They also have relationships with some of the third party ticket sales groups. So they'll reserve X amount of tickets for third party buyers.
Like StubHub and whatnot. Jesus.
Another example, yep. Then they'll monopolize the hospitality end of things and the expense ends of things at the venue. So, for instance, let's say a touring band needs to come in and get towels.
Yeah.
Live Nation's been known to sell towels for $50 a towel, figuratively. And then they own.
What a racket!
Then they
This
own
is
the
madness.
alcohol end of
It
thing.
is
and
crazy.
they'll own the entire process. So it's monopolistic in a sense.
Yeah.
Because someone like myself, tries to book someone who's a national artist, they've already been gulped up on a tour, and with those tours, there's radius clauses which stipulate a certain amount of days before and after, for a certain amount of miles, an artist can't perform. So let's say you want to book a band like Sublime, right? Before they were going out with Coachella, before Coachella announced, like, anyone who had Sublime booked nationally couldn't announce they had Sublime till Coachella goes live. So it's just a very locked down industry. It's tough.
Yeah.
But they did find a way around it. So back to Grass is Greener, because that's what we're here for. We do have to get you guys out of here. So last words on Grass is Greener this year.
For everyone that's been to our events, you guys kind of know what to expect. For the people that haven't made it out yet, definitely come check us out. Also, for all our current followers, we're going to be in New York. This is our first year. We're entering a second market. We have a really awesome venue in New York for April 19th. Make sure you guys come on down. It's going to be a really sick event. We're about to announce a new supporting headliner that everyone's going to be really excited, especially out of this area. And it's just a really cool experience that we continue to provide. So, if you don't have plans for 419, you do now. And, we appreciate everybody coming out.
And where can we get tickets for that?
That's also on our website, thegrassisgreenergathering.com. And you can look it up on the Ticketing Co.
Spencer, any last words? Grass is Greener?
Thegrassisgreenergathering.com.
There we go.
The grass is greener on this side.
Well, we will be there. It's always been a great time going. I know everyone had fun last year.
Google them.
Google them. That was.
Remember that? He goes, where can you?
I do. Yeah.
Shout outs to Resonate, The Main Event Presents, Urban Legends,
Only Fire,
Crafted by Nick, all of our other sponsors and vendors that are going to be out with us. It's
the Headache and Bake Show.
We appreciate everybody.
I like that name.
That's one of my names. All right, man. Fuck Her Chilling. Sense Lives. Money Forever. Grassisgreener.com.
Grass is Greener Gathering.
Gathering.com. Tickets. Peace. All right, man.